Good afternoon. We are going to get started. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Good afternoon and greetings with you all here today on this beautiful evening in Dominica. My name is Lester Barron, and I'm honored to be with you here today to have a phenomenal conversation about the future of small ruminants in Dominica. And I'm especially grateful and excited because we do have a guest speaker today, and I'm grateful that he has taken the time away from his family to be with us and have a conversation about the future of small ruminants in Dominica. If you're joining us here today, you may be on several mediums because this broadcast is going to be sent around the world through many mediums, through YouTube and through Facebook and through other recordings that we will be posting around the world. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us. And I just want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I was born on the island of Dominica, grew up there till I graduated high school from Dominica Grammar School, and then migrated to the United States, where I've lived in California for the last 26 years. But I go home to Dominica every year, and I'm so grateful that our home, our beautiful island Dominica, still remains one of the most pristine places in the world to visit. And so I'm grateful because one of my passions and my heart is to support our farmers in Dominica and to empower them with resources to be able to reach their dreams, whatever that looks like for them. And so today I have someone who's our guest speaker today, and I am so very honored that Dr. Lennox Sentemi, who's over the livestock division, is going to be joining us today. And Dr. Sentemi, I just want to tell you personally and publicly that you are one of my personal heroes. And the reason I say that, Doc, is because you have been a voice for people in Dominica in a different way, because you have empowered us Dominicans to take action, and you have facilitated that action for us. So thank you, Dr. Sentemi, and welcome to our call today. It is an honor that I get to be with you, and we just get to have a conversation about what it is that we're doing here for Dominica with Dominicans, and how we expect to grow the population of small ruminants on the island. So, Doc, welcome. You want to say hi to everybody and tell them a little bit about who you are and your background?
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Lester, for inviting me to this thing there. So I don't know I was your guest speaker, but anyway, that's all right. For those who don't know me, well, my name is well, as I said, I'm currently the chief vet officer in the Ministry of Agriculture, and as you know, well, part of our job is to increase the livestock production in Dominica in terms of for small ruminants, cattle, sheep, goats, and all the other livestock. Is to move the small ruminant sector forward. We started making some strides, but I will see there's plenty more that can be done and will be done. And well, the government of Dominica, especially Ministry of Agriculture, will have plenty of support. Well, we have our goal of contributing 700 billion to GDP by 2040. So that's a lot big task. So livestock going to be a major important part in that way forward. So we have to put things in place so that the livestock sector and I think there's a tremendous potential for the livestock sector. So so I'm glad that Lester is and all of us at least working together so we can move the sector forward.
Wow, Doc, thank you for that introduction.
Yeah.
And Doc, I want to maybe give everybody some background on exactly how this came about, right? I was visiting Dominica a few years ago, and I deliberately came to the gardens, and I think it was a God thing. It was a God moment that I met you, right? And I said, Doc, here's the vision. I have a passion for doing this. I have no agenda other than to see the animals in Dominica, right? And you said, okay, Lester, I want to support you. And I want to give you credit, Doc, because you have been so responsive. You have been so diligent with us. You have facilitated paperwork. You have gone above and beyond. I just want to thank you so much because you have really made a difference already in the lives of many people on the island. So thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
welcome. Well, that's what I like to improve the life of sector Dominica.
Yes. So, Doc, as we kick this off, I have a question for you. About how many farmers, just as an estimate, would you say that there are in livestock in Dominica currently?
Um, well, well, in terms of the different sectors, I'll put it maybe close to around maybe probably around 500 separated between the different categories.
Yeah. So about 500 in goats, 500 in sheep, 500 in pigs, and
No,
500.
that's in total.
Okay, so about 500 solid farmers
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
across the
yeah,
island. Yes.
yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And from what we're looking to do, Doc, I mean, I just want to give people the update already of what's been going on, and I'll have some PowerPoints that I'll share. What do you say would be? I know that the overall goal is 700 million, but from a grassroots perspective, like we're doing now, like what do you believe is a good starting point? If somebody says, well, I would like to get into livestock, or I'm in livestock, but what do you feel like we're doing together that can benefit the farmers that are looking to grow the animal population?
Well, the most important aspect I think for in terms of is good genetic stock large animals, but that have into deciding what you really want.
Yeah, that's really good, Doc. So
Yeah.
so the person that are looking to get into different industries have to figure out why, right? Why they're going into those industries. I think that's important.
Yeah.
And some people may be doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Some people may be doing it for being able to self-sustain.
Yeah.
Just have a few animals in their yard so they can harvest a few every now and then.
Yeah.
But some people actually want to use this for production, right?
Yes, exactly.
So why do you feel that having good genetic stock is important, like purebred animals and so forth? Why do you think that that's important?
Well, when I talk about good genetics, I don't necessarily mean purebred because what we really want is a resistant animal that is acclimatized to a condition that can meet our goals, whether it's milk production, whether it's meat production, and it's acclimatized to our climate and in terms of resistance to disease and pests. So basically that's the basic for going if you want in terms of moving the sector forward.
Fantastic. So it's more less of what the animal looks like and more of the purpose and the
exactly.
and the adaptability and all those other things, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So now, Doc, we've worked to make different strides in different areas, and we're going to work to cover all those areas this evening together, right? So the first one that we did was we were able to import some goat semen from the United States to Dominica, right? And we were able to do 100 Boer goat straws and 50 Nubian goat straws. And just to give everybody an example, the Boer goats are primarily a meat goat breed, and those meat goats can grow up to about 320 pounds on the high end, right? So Doc, when I tell people 320 pounds, they say, "Mama, that's a cow, man." It's right. So it's a very big, heavy meat goat, originally from South Africa. But we also brought down the Nubian genetics, which can give up to 5 gallons of milk a day. Right, Doc? So what purpose do you see both of those, the meat goat and the milk goat, serving in Dominica right now?
No, well, like I said before, basically, it's in terms of the small ruminants. Most people want animal either for meat production or dairy. So that's really and we have a very high demand for in terms of goat meat in Dominica. So if we can have a large animal high production, that will significantly contribute to the for the production of meat in Dominica in terms of goat meat.
Yeah, Doc, that's a very important point, because if I tell somebody I cook in a goat water there in my kitchen right now, they might buzz the Zoom and come through there
Exactly.
because everywhere I go in Dominica or
Mm,
even in the States,
mm,
that goat water is a very special part of Dominica culture, right?
yeah.
And so I would agree with you 100% that if we can produce bigger goats, which yield more meat,
Mm,
that means that everybody benefits, right? Whether
mm,
it's the farmer or the consumer or the visitor to Dominica, the
mm.
more meat we can produce. I don't think you can ever have enough goat meat for Dominica right now. What do you say, Doc?
Yeah, well, that's it's important because right now, if you go to the supermarket, you can find the goat meat. It's kind of it's kind of expensive and not in the quantity we want. So basically, that's what our goal is at least to produce more goat meat instead of the imported goat. I think we can support our local goat meat production, so we don't have to import from New Zealand or other countries.
I agree, Doc, because everywhere I look in Dominica, I tell my wife all the time, if you see I used to eat grass, I'd be the happiest man in the world in Dominica. But I don't eat grass. So I'm happy that we can have goats and have them take advantage of all of the beautiful greenery and different types of food we have in Dominica. And we can produce plenty meat at home. And you're right, not have to import. So I would say, Doc, that would open up a new avenue of income or a new market for people who would want to own goats. What do you say?
Exactly. So that's where we in the Ministry of Agriculture is going in terms of supporting in terms of the small rural program. If you have listened to the board, we have made some investments that will go into artificial intelligence and getting new stock into that so that we can at least improve the breed and then go to that way to get more local production and if we have enough animals, even to look at the possibility of export. So in the future, so.
You know, Doc, that would be a dream for me because I would love to see our island produce so much goat meat that we can export to even Jamaica, right? The land of goat meat, right? The land of curry goat.
Yeah.
But if we can become the staple of the Caribbean, the food basket of the Caribbean, using goat meat as an example, my goodness, Doc, I think we'd create a whole new industry from that. I'd be so excited.
Yes,
You know?
well, that's the direction we're going, and we can achieve that.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I also want to say thank you to you and your staff. I just want to show a quick photo here. Everybody, if you don't know, the vets and the vet staff have been working so very hard to do the first artificial inseminations on the island. So, you know, in case somebody doesn't know what that looks like, you know, what we mean by that is we were able to bring down semen straws from both the Boer and the Nubian goats from the US. And now we are impregnating our local goats with that semen. That is the objective. And so we are learning as we go, Doc. We have a learning curve we have to get over, right? We have to grow into. But I want to appreciate all the things that were able to take place, right? So
Yes.
so Doc, I know you and your team work hard behind the scenes, both the staff in Roseau, the staff in Londonderry, because we had to get the machine, we had to get the room, we had to get the air condition, we had to get a tank, we had to get permits. So Doc, you want to tell everybody about why you're excited about this process even being a possibility right now?
Yeah, well, so we are starting the first round of it. So once we get that going and our product program is good, then we can well provide that services to farmers, and then so that will significantly increase in terms of improving the breed and increasing the number of animals on island. So once we get that going there, so that will be a tremendous help to farmers in terms of getting the kind of animals they want.
Yeah, that's really good, Doc, because you know, like I saw some examples of the hybrid. So what we're doing is we're taking those genetics, put it for our biggest local females, and let's just say the babies when they grow up will be about 150 pounds. So the purebred Boas are about 320. Our Gate was, you think is what, about 60, 70, 80, 90 pounds? What do you think, Doc?
Yeah, that usually happens that answer.
Yeah, so if we can get maybe 50% more production of meat from that animal, that is the objective that we're trying to reach together. So that's why the AI was so important to us. So thank you much, Doc, for you and your staff working so very hard to help us to get our animals started on the process. Okay, I want to say that. Now, Doc, I remember I reached out to you recently about this beautiful opportunity for some of the people in Dominica, right? And Doc, I don't think you know the backstory because we haven't had a chance to talk. But the lady that is going to be doing this seminar here, she was the first woman in the United States to import Kiko goat genetics from New Zealand to the US in 1985. Okay. So she's basically the founder of the Kiko breed in the United States. And she is going to be hosting, Doc, we talked about this together, an artificial insemination clinic. So the reason I bring that up, Doc, is because over the past few months, since we brought these straws on island, many people in Dominica have reached out to me to ask me, Lester, is there a way that I could learn AI? Or is there a way I could get a refresher on the AI course? So I want to put this out there. If there's anybody in the United States that would like to attend this course and you are in the US, please take a picture of this flyer, a photo, a screenshot, and you are welcome to come to Tennessee. My intention is to be there as well because I want to go to the course, Doc, and learn this process myself, right? And if there's anybody else, whether you're in Dominica, if you have a US visa, please, if you can make it up there, the date is Saturday, October 5th. Please join us in Tennessee if you would like to learn. Doc, some people from the United States already call me and say, Lester, I'm driving up from Florida. I'm driving up from Georgia. I'm driving up from everywhere. They say they're going to be at the seminar. So, Doc, why do you feel like a seminar like this would be good for our people from Dominica, whether they're youth, young adult, or mature, to learn this skill?
No, well, I say well, artificial insemination is always good, but like you say, but what like I said, that's a very technical a very technical issue. So if you are not going to go into the thing in terms of breeding and thing, if it's just what I said, if it's just to learn about artificial insemination, what I check it, that's a very practical stuff, and there's a lot of practice and a lot of investment you have to make it to do that. So I would say it's very good, but if you really into that direction, then that's a good opportunity.
Yeah, Doc, and you're right, because a seminar like this would be somebody that's very serious about doing this, right?
Yes.
And so there's a young lady that reached out to me and she said, Lester, I would love to open up an AI clinic in Dominica. That was her words to me, though. I was so inspired by that.
Yeah.
She said, I want to be an AI specialist. So she said, I want to do goats, sheep, cows, rabbit, even chickens she wants to do AI for, horses and everything else,
Yes, yeah.
So if there's anybody that has an aptitude for the sciences, for veterinary science and anything else, and you'd like to attend the seminar, the information is on the flyer and will be distributed in all our groups. Please, reach out to the number on the flyer, book your states in Tennessee in October, and we'd love to see you there. Okay? So, Doc, the next thing I want to bring up is some of the other topics that we want to cover today. The next one is live goats. So I would like to say thank you again and congratulations to all of the farmers. We were just able to bring in 17 goats and 1 sheep to the island already in the last few weeks. So starting from June, the first week of June, to just a few days ago, we brought down 17 Savannah goats, purebred, and the other one is 1 Dorper sheep. So, Doc, we started with a vision with artificial insemination and taking your advice because, Doc, I just want you to know that as the leading authority, veterinary authority in Dominica, I submit to your authority. I want you to know that publicly, okay? And I would not do anything without your consent and your blessing on it. So, Doc, when we talked about this project, you said, Lester, one of the challenges we had in the past was the animals that came from different places were not acclimatized to Dominica. So we were able to get these animals in Antigua, which is not too far from us. I could almost swim there when I used to be a good swimmer, right, Doc? So tell us a little bit about why importing more genetics, diversity in genetics on the island is important.
No, it's always good to get different genetics into that. The only issue I have is in terms of when we want to import it, we have to make sure they meet all our requirements in terms of preventing disease and in terms of the health of the animals, because what we don't want to do is introduce any disease or anything to Dominica. So in terms of we always if somebody wants to bring a goat or thing new genetics, I always will facilitate them. But once they meet the requirements, but there are certain requirements that we have to meet. Once they follow that, then we have no problem. That it's always good to have good genetic materials.
Yeah, Doc, thank you for sharing that, because you and I share a similar passion for this, right? You know, one of the things I wrote down on my notes in preparation for the call is I don't believe that most people understand how special Dominica is. Doc, we have so many things that are only unique to our island, you know, and the environment on our island is very pristine. You know, the fresh water we have, the drinkable water, almost any river you can go, any source, you can go and take a drink of water. Matter of fact, Doc, every time I come down Dominica, I stop in the source and fill my bottle before I go home, you know. I take about an hour filling my bottles in the source, because that's all I drink. And when I finish my water, I go back in the source and get water, you know. So bringing animals back, though, we do not want to do that, right, Doc? And you have my commitment to you that with anything that I facilitate, it will be done with the proper way, with the regulations and meeting your standards, okay? And not just me, I will uphold that standard for anybody that asks me as well. So yes, Doc. So even with the shipment in Antigua, we had the vet on the Antigua side, certify, meet the requirements that Dominica has, send it to you, you certify, and then you give us the permit. So I just want to say thank you for facilitating that. And there are many farmers in Dominica right now, Doc, that have those genetics. And so those animals, some of them are still in quarantine, and we will be releasing soon, because people are asking, Lester, where can we breed? Can we breed our animals with those already? We have to wait till after the quarantine period, and then they can breed the animals eventually. So, Doc, anything else you'd like to share about that?
No, so well, like I said, it's always good to bringing animals, but we, in terms of when we bring animals, we still have to in terms of keeping records, in terms of knowing where the animals go in, what area they're going in terms of to control inbreeding and to make sure that that there's no instead of improving our animals, they get worse. So what I'm saying, once the farmers are bringing animals and they know what the animals I think that what we try to do is to have a tracking system, so we know where each animal is, so we can know if you're going to breed your animal with somebody, you know that animal is related and this kind of thing. So that's things we have to be aware of in terms of our breeding program. And so so we cannot just do anything by Vikey. So everything has to have a proper order in terms of, even though we have animals, but in terms of breeding, there have to be a program to make sure that that they're bred properly.
You know, Doc, I'm glad you brought that up, and we actually did this with this in mind. So, Doc, I just want to give you some good news, as well as the people listening, that we do have an official livestock breeders directory for the purebreds that are coming in. And Doc, if you look here on the screen, what you're seeing is the two genetic lines that we currently have from the Savannah goats. We have the yellow line and the blue line. And we know every person and every village that they're in right now, and the contact information, the date of birth, and the number of the male and the female which it was bred from. So, Doc, I just wanted to let you know that we are one step ahead of the curve for you, and we are keeping the records, and Doc will be sharing this with you so that you and your staff will have full access to this directory as well.
Okay, that's very good.
Okay, and so anybody that imports live animals and they would like to be a part of this, we would really appreciate you sending us your information so that we can put on record you know, your information, where the animals came from, where they were bred, and everything else that we need to keep the genetics pure. So thank you for that, Doc. Okay. The next thing I'd like to bring up is, Doc, you know, this year, you know, just because of my schedule and my time constraints, I cannot do everything at once. You know, just I also have to work. So, and because unfortunately, I'm not retired like some very fortunate people yet. But Doc, I wanted to make sure that we at least got the jump start on the goats coming into Dominica. So the first piece of good news is we were just able to complete the Savannah goats. That shipment is done and it's completed. And now, Doc, I have some very good news because we are working now with Matnik to get Kalahari Red, Boa, and Nubian genetics from right next door in Martinique. And there's a very high-end breeder, purebreds as well, that keeps very great records. He has some of the best genetics I've seen, not just in the Caribbean, but in the world. And so we are excited to bring down the Kalahari Red, Boa, and Nubian from there. And we are looking to do something very ambitious, Doc, which is later on before Christmas, there, December 15th at the latest, is to bring down Nubian, Senan, Boa, Toggenburg, Alpine, Kiko, and other genetics from the United States. So, Doc, I'm really excited. A lot of people have been asking, how can we get a hold of the possibility? I'll be dropping a link in the chat later, actually on the form down here at the bottom. So if anybody would like to take part in this import as well, they're welcome. So, Doc, any feedback about what we're looking to do here together on this specific one?
Yeah, like I said before, it's always good to have some new genetic materials, and once we know we can keep a good record of where they're coming in. But my concern is really in terms of getting good genetic materials is in terms of when from the Caribbean, so in terms of their adaptability and think to our climate. What my main concern in terms of all that is in terms of when they get to Dominica, in terms of dog attack. Because as you know, that is one of the major issues that is limiting our small ruminant population in Dominica. Because one of the farmers can't lose his whole herd up anything. So I think if we have to make that big investment in terms of animals, we have to make sure the animals have proper housing, proper security to protect this investment, because you don't want to have your animals and then for dogs to come and kill and just get rid of all your investment. So that's basically one of my main concerns in terms of getting genetic, but that's a good thing. And in terms of like I said, kind of ambitious in terms of from the US, because as you know, getting live animals to Dominica is a bit of a challenge because of in terms of airway and those kind of thing. But if it can be done, that should be a good genetic resource for farmers in Dominica.
Yeah, Doc, I appreciate you sharing that, because I share the same sentiment with you. You know what's interesting is one of the things that we've been looking into is the fencing wire for farmers, so that they can keep the dogs out of their paddocks, right?
Yeah.
So we were able to source rolls of wire, Doc. You would not believe it. There's a place that we were able to source it for 60 US a roll, 500 feet, which is dirt cheap, Doc, compared to most of the other places I've looked at.
No, but in terms of wire, but we still have to be careful in terms of the grade of the wire, because when you importing wire, because of our climate and thing, we need to have the grade has to be very because some wire cheap, but they don't last very long.
Yes, that's correct. So Doc, I would not do anything without running it by you. So I'm going to make sure that when we look at the wire, that it is the right grade and the right the right what do you call that thing? Consistency, whatever it needs to withstand our climate in Dominica, right?
Yeah.
Yes, the right makeup. So Doc, take a look at this. I want to share this with everybody on the call. Doc, I was so impressed because I was able to get connected with a lady here in the States who turned a 40-foot container into an animal shipping container. Doc, when the person told me the concept, I said, I have to see it to believe it. So take a look at this, Doc. I mean, this person was so creative. This lady is so creative. Let me turn it to this side. I think that might be a better view for everybody on the Zoom. But Doc, look at this. A 40-foot container. And what she did, she put the food on the top. You see that up there? So this container can travel for a week or 2 weeks at sea, even 3 weeks to a month with food and water, and the animals would not be hurt or harmed. So if you look here, Doc, this thing can be loaded onto a flatbed, and we can drive it to the port after quarantine in Miami, and the animals will have food for the entire journey. I was so inspired by this. Look at this. Look at the inside. Doc, I said, if you see I wasn't married, I would tell my wife I go and live in one of that three, because it's so spacious. But you can see there, it has things for food, it has things for water, and the animals have a lot of space. So Doc, that is what we're looking to do later on this year. which is the shipment from the United States. They even have fans. If you can look in the back there, they have fans in the back that gives the animals breeze there. And we can bring down goats, sheep, um, and other small ruminants in this container. So, Doc, this is probably the most ambitious project that we're going to do so far. But I want to give everybody a visual that it's possible, it's already been done, and we're looking to do some more in Dominica to bring down what we can do in this one is 50 max. So what I'd like to do is spread the word right now with everybody to let them know that there are 50 animals coming down in that container later on this year. So if there's anybody again that's interested, we would love to have you reach out to us. We'll be sharing our information soon, and we can start getting everybody's interest on paper. Any questions around that for me, Doc?
No, well, like I say, it's looking well, it's ambitious, but in terms of once if it can be done well, well, a number of farmers should be able to benefit so 50 animals. That would be a good injection in terms of the stock on island. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting, Doc? I confirmed it can be done because there's a gentleman in the Bahamas that used that shipping company and got them over there. Right? So I'm grateful that we have the ability to do that. You know, that we have an example of success. And so now we get to work on it to see how well it would benefit us. And again, you know, what we're talking about, Doc, I want to let everybody know that this is a significant investment that everybody's making, right? So when a farmer says, I'd like to do that, just to give you an example, Doc, I think the farmers that imported just from Antigua spent about $48,500 just in cost of the animals, you know, to get them to Dominica. So I just want to let everybody know that this is not an inexpensive investment, but it is very worth it because what we're doing is we're becoming the pioneers of animals, of the new genetics in Dominica. And what I would say to you all is, yes, it's going to be a little bit more costly, and it's going to be worth it for future generations. Because what I believe will happen is people will get will be inspired by what it is that we're doing. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Doc, and I just want to show everybody in September, so this is in a few weeks here, starting in September, these are the types of goats that we're going to be looking at from Matnik, okay? So these are the Kalahari Red, Boa, and Nubian that are coming in from Matnik. And so I know the gentleman over there has limited stock. Like the last gentleman in Antigua, we pretty much wiped him out his entire stock of the best ones. But we will be bringing this in. So again, if you have any interest, I believe Stephen, if you're on the call, drop the interest form in here for me so that everybody can scan the QR code or click on the link. But these are the goods that we're going to be bringing in from Matnik. Here's the Nubians. So if you're into milking or if you're into meat goats, even if you want to do it for your backyard production of subsistence farming, or if you want to go into big production, all of you are welcome to join us, okay, in the next shipments. And we could probably take maybe 5 or 6 or 7 farmers for the Matnik operation, but we would like to take 50 farmers or maybe 25 to 50, depending on how many animals they get in, for the December shipment. So please spread the word. Please let us know if you have an interest, and we'll go from there. Doc, anything you want to say about either of these for now before we move on to the next?
No, like I say, if we can get it going in terms of, like I say, it's a good thing in terms of and we in the government are looking to improve our stock. So combined with local people plus what we get for government, we should have a good stock of animals to work with. Yeah.
I would agree 100%. So Doc, let's shift gears now. I know we talked about goats a lot this segment, but we also want to talk about some of the care for the animals, right? So as we import these animals to the island, we know that they will need some special care. So Doc, you've probably seen this around, but some of the things that are important are, for example, medication, and we can find medication at many of these stores on the island, right? Yeah. So if everybody they invest in animals, they could seek some of the private vets to help them out with their animal care. Because I know, Doc, you and the government have a lot of workload. You guys cover the entire island, right? Yeah. And so in terms of medication or animal sprays or even um, goat feed or different supplements for the animals, wound sprays and all these other things, transportation for animals, fencing wire, like we talked about, even grass cutting machines or silage machines. Doc, a lot of people have reached out to me about these. So, any perspective on animal care at this point and why it would be important for the people bringing these animals into the island to really have a strong care program for these animals?
In terms of animals, genetics and so most animals in terms to keep your animals healthy and thing, first of all you need to keep them in top condition in terms of preventing them from internal parasites and giving them supplements or any other thing that they need. And in terms if they get injured, so vet care is important. So there's certain things farmers can do in terms of maintenance, but in terms of like maybe in the regular dewormings, in terms of hoof trimmings and those basic things, well to maintain your health for them because like with everything to get production, you need the animals to be in a nice, comfortable area, so that it can give you productions. So in terms of the health, we need the regular dewormings. We need to give them in terms of supplements. And if they get a little injury, then we need to give them proper health care in terms of regular or quick vet services. So in terms of there's some limitation in terms of getting the type of medicine ones, but although some of it's available in Dominica, but there's some limitation. But once we have that in place, then that, like I said, it's very important in terms of having these for the to maintain the good health of the animal.
Yeah, Doc, I think it's so important, and I know that some people use private vets, which is amazing. Some people reach out to y'all depending on whether they can you have the resources, the time, and they have the finance to utilize private vets. But I always encourage vets to to be consistently checking on the animals and people to have vets consistently come to their farms for proper care and maintenance. So thank you, Doc, for that. Yeah. I'd like to share with everyone very quickly that here's the link. I'm grateful that my staff is on point. Here's the link for those of you that would like to import goats to the island. So the QR code on the left, if you scan that one, if you're on your cell phone, just take a screenshot of it real quick and hang on to those in your phone. If you'd like to import goats to Dominica, that you scan the left QR code. If you would like to join our WhatsApp group, you join the right, you scan the right QR code, and you'll be able to join our WhatsApp group. Why is it important? Doc, I'm so proud of everyone because we have about 183 farmers now out of, let's say, the top 500 serious ones, right? On the island in our WhatsApp group. So I'm very grateful that we work together collaboratively. Everybody's coming together to work together to build the industry from the ground up, Doc? And so I just want to say thank you to everyone that has joined the group, and thank you to everybody that will join. Please help us spread the word, because our vision is to have all 500 farmers in Dominica as part of the WhatsApp group, so we can communicate effectively with each other. And even if you're not a goat farmer, there is another group, a subgroup within part of a community where you could join the group for goats, pigs, chickens, cows, rabbits, and everything else that we'll have. So once you're in that community, we'll be able to guide you and direct you to the others. So feel free to scan and join us there. So Doc, thank you for that. Let's shift gears now and let's talk about, Doc, some of the other things that we've talked about in the past that are now in the works. So Doc, I know a lot of our people in Dominica like goat meat, but if I say a gel kosher parfumé, I think some people would actually climb the wall and go Dominica to get a gel kosher parfumé right now with a red beans in it. You know what I mean? So we talked about, Doc, also bringing the new breeds of pigs to Dominica, right? Some very beautiful pigs. So Doc, let's talk a little bit about the pig farmers, and this is obviously not between now and the end of the year. This will probably start January 2025. So Doc, tell me a little bit about pig farmers in Dominica. Educate me, because that is not my specialty. I'm a goat guy. Tell me about the pig farmers and what you're looking to do with the pig industry in Dominica.
No, second, pork is one of the favorite meats in Dominica. So since after Hurricane Maria, we get we kind of trying to recover in terms of our production, in terms of most of our houses pig houses got damaged, and plus with the both increase wool prices in terms of feed and things, like the feed for the pigs have been a little more expensive and things. So they have been a little bit dropping in terms of the number of pig farmers, but we're slowly getting back because we are, in terms of our national abattoir, we're trying to renovate the abattoir. Plus, so the pig sector is very important to us, and we have that's one of the sectors that that the government is have to invest in terms of genetics and things. So basically, so in terms of right now, when our genetics is kind of a little bit overwhelmed, so we just need to getting some fresh genetics in terms of the breeds of animals. Before we have. Well, we have the breeds. It's just that they're too long, so we just need to get some new genetic materials just to improve the genetic quality of these animals. But before we had the rocks, large white land breeds, all the modern breeds we had them in Dominica. So it's just to get some new stock in. You know.
Wow.
But our problem is usually to getting the live animals in terms of transportation and things that and getting them from a good source in terms of disease free and those kind of, because right now there's a number of diseases that's around the world that we need to be aware of in terms of prevent that from getting Dominica. So we have to be very careful in terms of where we get the animals and in terms of the quality of the animals we're getting.
Yes, Doc. You know, I'm grateful that you said that, because again, that is our top priority, to protect our beautiful island and all of the fauna and flora that we have in Dominica, as well as the livestock. So I'm excited, Doc, as we look into pigs in the next few months. If there are any pig farmers and you'd like to be a part of what we're doing, please scan our QR code. Hope I passed it up. I'm moving too fast here. Please scan our QR code. We talked about goats. We talked about Nubian, Boa, Sainan, etc. Material. Here we go. So please scan our QR code. If there are pig farmers that want to join the group, just get them into our WhatsApp group and then we'll direct them to the right place. So, Doc, now that we talked about pigs, and look at the size of these pigs, Doc. I heard that some of these pigs get up 300 pounds plus as well. So I can't wait for us to have more of those there, right? Now, Doc, I visited a rabbit farm down in Dallas, Texas. I remember reaching out to you when I did that. And not that little guy, that's not a rabbit, okay? Just letting everybody know. But I visited a rabbit farm down there. And Doc, we found some beautiful rabbits, from the California to the Flemish Giant to all the other breeds that are available, New Zealand White. Doc, tell everybody about the rabbit farmers in Dominica, because I see so many people that love rabbit meat. And what is your vision for rabbits in Dominica?
Well, in terms of rabbits, we still have in terms of rabbit, that's one of the small animals that we're working with, and we plan to work with the people in Corcoran, because they have in terms of the Corcoran Rabbit Festival, in terms of the annual festival that we wishing to help them in terms of improving and getting increasing the amount of rabbits in Dominica. Like, but with everything else, we need to get there are a number of farmers with a number of rabbits, but like you say, we just need to get some new genetic rabbit, but that's posing in terms of a little problem in terms of getting like you say, animals disease free and things, because if rabbits, there are certain diseases that that's up there that we really don't want to bring in. So that maybe our main problem is in terms of sourcing a good source in terms of bringing these animals in. Yes, and most farmers, most people are interested in getting in terms of getting the different breeds of animals, because I think there's a long while we haven't imported any new genetic materials into Dominica. So basically what we have is just a localized rabbit, because they breed until we form almost like our own breed of rabbit in Dominica.
Yes. Yeah. And Doc, I remember when I visited that farm in Dallas, Texas, the guy has been breeding the Flemish Giant for 50 years. So that guy, his farm protocols are very strict. He looked at the requirements. He says, I meet all of them. But as usual, Doc, as we source these animals, we will do the genetic testing before we bring them down. Okay, that's going to be not genetic, I apologize. The health testing before we bring them down. So that's going to be very important. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Doc, how about sheep?
Yeah, well, the same thing. Sheep basically have the same interest in Dominica in terms of promoting and things, although not as popular as goats, but there are a number of farmers who have sheep and would like to improve their in terms of because normally we have the black belly from Barbados, and I think we had some Catadines and before that we had some Doppler, but basically most of our animals basically is Barbados black, but yeah. But we're looking to bring in some eugenic materials. So, yeah.
Yeah, Doc, and I want to make sure that we emphasize the difference between our sheep. The sheep, there are two types of general sheep, which is wool sheep that produce wool, and then hair sheep.
Well,
so the breeds that
yes, yes, in Dominica, most of our sheep is from which we do. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we want to make sure it's not wool sheep that we're bringing down, because the climate is too humid for them. So the most of these sheep that we're bringing down is hair sheep, which means their hair falls off. When it gets cold, or if they live in a colder climate like maybe Pocasset, then they put on a little bit more hair. But if they live in drier climates, then they drop the hair. That's called a hair sheep. Whereas a wool sheep, you actually need the shears to shear off the hair, right? We don't want to have those sheep in Dominica because they'll see too much music. So anyway, we're looking at bringing down some hair sheep to Dominica as well. Now, Doc, one of the things you talked about was the challenge with dogs, wild dogs, especially in Dominica. And it just is what it is. There are a lot of them, and I look forward to working with the authorities to see how we can mitigate that wild dog situation, because I have a lot of friends that have lost animals, and it's heartbreaking. If I show some of the pictures, people would not believe it's dogs in Dominica that are doing that. You would think it's a wolf or a coyote that is eating them like that. But one of the things that we explored, Doc, is having a livestock guardian dog, right? And so some of the breeds that you probably heard of or haven't heard of, obviously, if you look on the screen, you can tell which of those would do good in Dominica and which wouldn't. So, for example, like that partner down there, we won't bring Mr. Dominica. He would die day number one. Even this guy up there on the top left corner, he would not make it in Dominica, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking to bring in breeds like these two here, which are shorter hair, shorter hair on the dogs. But these dogs are bred to be livestock guardians. That means if something or somebody tries to take the goats or the sheep or your livestock, they feel a little power from that dog. So, Doc, any thoughts on the dogs and the value of having livestock guardian dogs?
Yeah, that's one of the things. One of the solutions we were usually thinking of in terms of protecting the livestock from dog attacks. So we have given it some structure, but we have never really gone into importing like dogs specifically to guard livestock. But like I know there's some dogs, there's some other animals that can guard livestock. So that could be one of the ways to prevent dog attacks in terms of protecting our investment here.
Yeah. Yes, Doc, and we're going to talk about some of those as well at the end as we wrap up. One of those livestock animals that does protect livestock is donkeys, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was talking to somebody the other day, and I asked them, "Well, you remember when we used to have donkey derby in Dominica?" And Doc, they don't remember, Doc, because donkey derby died before that.
Yeah.
So anyway, donkeys are a very good livestock guardian animal. And I know that we have some sources, Doc. That's something else that is not on our priority list, because small ruminants are your mandate to me. That Lester help me small ruminants, right? So eventually I'm hoping that we can do donkeys and horses and cows and whatever else that people are looking for as well, But any thoughts on donkeys as livestock guardian animals?
No, well, like I said, we have part of the possibilities in terms of donkeys, but then plus there's a number of individuals who want donkeys for other purposes. So imagine some people usually have access where they can get donkeys and things. So even though it's not in terms of our guardian, but there's some other people that really want to bring in some donkeys for other purposes here.
Like going to the country and and carrying their load and other things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Especially because of our terrain, it is very, very steep. A lot of the gardens are very steep places.
Yeah.
So the donkeys can, they call that the beast of burden. So anyway, so thank you, Doc. I look forward to us getting to that topic at a later time. But let me share again as we go through this. So this is the link. If you would like to join the um, the import group for any of these animals, you scan the link, the QR code on the left. And if you'd like to join our WhatsApp groups, pardon me, you can scan the QR code on the right. Doc, we also have some very good news. We have an update that you probably didn't get yet. I like to give you surprises every now and then.
Yeah.
But I want to say congratulations to all of the people who worked very hard together
Mm,
to get the Dominica Livestock Cooperative up and
mm,
running.
mm,
Doc, the cooperative was just ratified yesterday.
mm,
And I just want to say thank you to each and every person that put all of their blood, sweat, and tears. A lot of hard work, time, effort, and energy went into this. And a
mm,
lot of people made trips up and down to Roseau, to the livestock co-op division, the co-op division, and we worked together as a unit to get this done. And the thing that I appreciated is despite, Doc, all of us are different people,
mm.
different views, different values, right? We work together to get it done. So I just want to let everybody know that the Dominica Livestock Cooperative is official now. It is up and running. And if you would like to become a part of the Dominica Livestock Cooperative, you can become a member, because that is, for example, Doc, when we talk about the fencing wire, we would love to be able to order bulk wire together as a group. Because Doc, the more you can buy in bulk, the cheaper everything becomes,
Yes,
and the
exactly.
shipping also
Mm,
goes down,
yeah.
right?
Yes, exactly.
So we're looking to, if you'd like to become a part of this beautiful co-op that has been formed now, the information is on the screen. You can email Dominica Livestock Cooperative at gmail.com. And or you can scan any of the QR codes. The Instagram is there, the Facebook is there, and you could be a part of everything that we're doing, because what we're doing, everybody, is we're looking to create a movement in Dominica where we create excitement. Doc, I told a story recently about a young butcher
Mm,
that came up to me and said, Lester, man, I wish I could get this, and that for my butchering business.
mm,
And I said to him, you know what? Don't worry. We are working together to formulate solutions. And the other part of that, Doc, too, is when you have official cooperatives like this, you can get funding from different sources for the farmers to support with their visions and their goals and their farms.
mm.
So I just want to encourage everybody. It's only 150 US to be, EC, to become a cooperative member. It is absolutely worth it, everybody. Myself, my mother, and my sister are all members, and I know that there are many people on this call tonight who are members. If you'd like to just say yes, I'm a member, please put your information in the chat. Let's do a celebration real quick. But I want to say congratulations to the DLC for officially being ratified yesterday. Any perspective on cooperatives, Doc, and why it's important for farmers to work together?
Yeah, well, I kind of happy that that we're going to have a livestock cooperative. So if because once there's the farmers cooperative, then farmers the cooperative will speak with one voice, so they can work it. Well, we have been sure to work with them in terms of helping them, and they can to achieve the goal. And I think once the farmers speak for united voice, then they can well at least advise government or Ministry of Agriculture the direction they need to go, and then will facilitate help in that facilitation. I think well, I really know the importance of group, and their strength in numbers. So once there's a big group and everybody speak with one voice, then we know the direction everybody want to go, and then we as the government can work at least to help the farmers go the direction they want. So I'm really looking forward to work together with the livestock cooperative in terms of moving the livestock sector ahead.
Yeah, Doc, thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your partnership with the farmers. Thank you so much for your diligence and your effort that you put in, because it is really a beautiful thing that you're helping us do. So to give everybody a couple visuals, wrap up, and then maybe take a couple questions. Doc, my last few slides here. This is what the Dominica Livestock Cooperative community looks like, okay? So again, I'll put up the QR codes at the end, but we have groups specifically to what people want to do. So whether they are poultry farmers, cattlemen and women, rabbit farmers, shepherds, the vets have their own chat. Any vets on the island, I recommend that you join together and have conversations. Goat farmers, pig farmers, Doc. The community is beautiful, right? And so we want to encourage everybody to join the community. Let's get active. Let's build some momentum. Let's push forward, right, everybody? So we can make things happen. Doc, the last thing I want to share is, as we do this, we want to make sure that people don't feel like they have to go through us for anything.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
Because we don't want to be a Dominica. All we wanted to do is to show that it was possible.
Mm.
So I just want to tell everybody publicly that everything that we're doing,
Mm.
we are creating a procedure for it. And the procedure would be the official document on exactly how we got it done. So, Doc, for example, you can see on the screen here the goat import procedure, goat
Mm.
semen import procedure from the States. This is exactly how we did it. This is exactly who we contacted, and this is exactly how much it costed us.
Mm.
So if any of you would like to import your own semen, you can go ahead and do it. But again, I always recommend you do it in a group
Mm.
because it's cheaper. Right, Doc? You know how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Mm.
Because there are many, many different moving parts, right, when it comes to getting these things done. But we just want to let you know that everything is going to be made public. So if you say, no, I don't want to do it as a part of the group, no problem. We're not offended. No shame, blame, or guilt. No good, bad, right, or wrong. We just want to say you're welcome to do it with us. The next thing, Doc, is we have the import requirements for the rabbits and everything else that you've given us already.
Mm.
So I just want to show people that everything that we're doing is on the up and up. Thank you for the certificates. We have the genetics of everything, where it was sourced from, right? The US Department of Agriculture, if it's coming from here, or the island like Antigua or Martinique. Everything that we do, everybody, is on the up and up. So we get the medical history, we get the test done, the blood test, everything is done here. So I just want to let you all know that we're excited to work together with the farmers. We're grateful that we have come together. We put any challenges aside from the past. I never dwell on the past because we are focused on the future, right, Doc? That's how I think. And so I just want to encourage each and every one of you, whether you have people in Dominica, you have people in the United States, in the Caribbean, in Africa, in Europe, wherever they are in the world, please help us spread the word and help them to join our movement here to be able to work with us to get more animals to Dominica. I put the link in the chat in case you would like to import goats from Martinique coming up or from the United States in December. Please click on the link in the chat right now and share us your interest. But Doc, I'd like to turn it over to you for some final words before we wrap up.
Okay, thank you, Lester. Well, like I say, in terms of we at the Ministry of Agriculture is always ready to assist farmers and anybody that want to help in the development of livestock industries, and we'll always provide that facility role from government in terms of helping you, in terms of advice, and in terms of sometimes maybe not technical advice, sometimes not even financial, but in terms of the guidance, and sometimes the procedures we follow, we're always willing to help to facilitate the process. So once somebody come to us in terms of the one from, we'll always listen to them and try to facilitate the best we can. So our goal is, like I say, is to increase agricultural contribution by 700 by 2020. So that's our goal, and that's our big mandate. So anything in terms of livestock, in terms of development, and increase the livestock contribution to the agriculture sector, will be welcome.
Thank you so much, Doc, for your support. Hey, everybody, I hope that you're excited about what we're doing. This is truly a wonderful opportunity for us to get everything that we're doing in Dominica to the next level, right? Take the livestock, the size of the animals, the durability of the animals, the strength of the animals. We're able to help each other with crossbreeding around the island, bring up the milk production, the meat production, and Dominica can continue to be one of the best places in the Caribbean to obtain great food, right? And that can start with healthy meats, and then of course agricultural plants and everything else that we do in Dominica, and of course great water. So Lord, I appreciate you, Dr. Sentemi. Thank you for your vision. Thank you again for being one of my heroes. Thank you for being somebody that is really on the front lines for the people. And I'm so grateful that you took the time away from your family. I know that it's the Saturday evening and you could be doing a lot of things, and you're being pulled in many different directions. But I want to say I appreciate you because you've always been a strong support for the farmers and for all the projects that we're doing. And we look forward to continuing. And I myself cannot wait till we see baby goats, nice genetics of pigs, baby sheep, cows, horses, goats, rabbits, all these things, new genetics on the island, so we can grow together as we continue to farm together and build our lifestyles, and many businesses that come from it as well. So, Doc, thanks for being on. We're right at the top of the hour. I'm grateful for you, and I look forward to us staying in touch.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, always a pleasure.
Thank you. So, everybody, last time I'm going to put it up on the screen. If you would please let anybody that you know about our groups, if they could please join us in the groups. Let me put it up here. My screen jumped around. So, if they'd like to scan the QR code, they could be a part of the group. Remember to join the Dominica Livestock Cooperative. We'd love to have you as part of the co-op. It's officially ratified now. And we look forward to spending time with all of you, getting to know you better, and being a part of, please be a part of everything that we're doing, because your participation matters, your input matters, your perspective, your wisdom, your insight matters. And in the near future, we'll have some time to do some Q&A when we have more time with farmers. Okay, everybody? Have a great evening. Talk to you soon. Spread the word. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Doc.
Okay, good night. Thank you. Bye.